And here we are winding down 2020. And these are the final introductions from some of the folks that are going to be with us with LGBTQ PopOn in 2021. And what is LGBTQ PopOn? It's all about diving in to various topics that are related to LGBT advertising, marketing, social media, and new media. So anyway, let's take a look at some of these intros.
So hi, I'm Mitchell Cheeseman, everybody. I'm based in Toronto, Canada. I'm the marketing manager at Extra Magazine. For those of you who aren't familiar, Extra is one of the oldest surviving independent queer publications in the world. We're based out of Toronto, but we have contributors all over the place, and we're published by Pink Triangle Press. So on top of Extra, Pink Triangle Press also owns and operates the gay dating site squirt.org. Extra was formerly a print publication, and we had hyper-local coverage that was focused in Toronto, Vancouver, and Ottawa for a couple decades. And then in 2015, we ceased our print operations. Everything became fully digital, and that's when I came on board as one of the first hires in the digital age of Extra. So when I started in 2015, I was in the role of native content producer. I was working in the sales team, working alongside our advertising clients to try to create branded content campaigns to help our advertisers engage with our readers in a more deep way than maybe traditional advertising would allow them to do. But Pink Triangle Press has a really interesting business model in the sense that we are a mission-focused organization, and we operate similar to a nonprofit. So we don't exist to make money. We exist to create social change and to drive our mission, which is daring together to set love free. As a result of that, we end up kind of giving away a lot of our ad inventory at heavily discounts or for in-kind sponsorship. So we end up working with a lot of really small brands. We have a couple big advertisers that we work with as well, but in my role, I worked with a lot of really small community organizations who have a lot of different needs compared to maybe the big brands a lot of other outlets might be working with. In early 2019, I then switched to the role of marketing communications manager, which I'm in now for Extra. At around that time, we started to plan for a rebrand and a site relaunch, which actually just happened last month. And you can now find all of Extra's content at extramagazine.com. But some of the bigger projects that I've been part of working on over the last couple of years are figuring out how we can define a unique editorial mix for a queer publication that will be able to set us apart from mainstream publications who are now paying more attention to our communities than they ever have before. So now we're not just competing with other queer publications, we're also competing with like the big players who have their own networks. We've also been trying to focus on ways to grow our audience beyond our traditional markets. We're pretty well known in Canada, especially in Ottawa, Toronto, and Vancouver. But now we're trying to serve a much wider range of audiences. And now most of our readers are coming from the States, actually. And of course, this year, we've had a lot of conversations around how we can continue to provide value for audiences who are trying to survive in a pandemic. So the pandemic has meant a pretty big shift in our editorial coverage, and that's been a big impact on our journalists. They've changed the way they tell stories, what kind of stories they're telling. But I'm not a journalist, so that's not something that I've had a huge hand in doing. But because we're a mission-focused organization, we want to make sure everything that Extra is doing is mission-friendly. So we wanted to extend the spirit of all of everything that we're doing in the pandemic to not just our readers, but also our business partners. So our editorial team came up with a project called DIY Pride, and over the spring and summer, they explored different ways that queer people are really showcasing their resilience and coming together, finding ways to celebrate Pride, even when everything is being fully digital. And we wanted to extend that beyond our readers to business partners as well. So we developed a COVID relief program to support LGBTQ 2S+ nonprofits and community organizations. And that's kind of been where my focus has been this year, is figuring out how we can support them. We know that for those organizations, Pride is pretty much the most important time of the year when it comes to their fundraising. And this year, with Pride festivals either canceled or moved fully online, a lot of our partners' fundraising was in jeopardy. So basically, we developed this program and we just started donating our ad space. We reached out to old partners, new partners, and just said, we have all this ad space. Our readership is higher than it's ever been before. There's no one advertising this year because it's a pandemic. So please just fill up our site with your ads. So that's kind of where we are right now. Throughout the summer, we ran it as a bit of a pilot project with a handful of organizations. We saw a lot of success with it, and we were really happy with. The readers responded really well. Our partners responded even better. And now that we've redesigned Extra, relaunched it's now just a permanent offering at our organization. So we're at the pretty early stages of it right now, but we're looking to partner with organizations all over the place to just give them ad space and try to allow those brands to do the good work that they're doing by getting their message in front of our readers as much as possible.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna throw out there, without trying to oversimplify what you represent in there, but from my perspective, Extra is one of the very, very few that has adapted to this modern world, not just pandemic, but the world we're in. And I would say the only other one that comes to mind right away is like the Washington Blade and LA Blade. And what I mean by that is that you guys have migrated from print into a very strong digital format for many years, when not everybody had made it from print to digital. But then you just kept going. And so now I would just say that, like, when I see your social media outreach, you guys are posting in a way that puts a lot of value in the social media, separate from the digital, and separate from the website digital, and separate from the what you used to do in print. And so it gives you like a real multimedia, 360 degree, whatever term people want to use, but it really has set you guys apart, I would say, as far as kind of really being a leader in that space.
Oh, I appreciate you saying. Yeah, it's been a highly experimental couple of years, I like to say, but it's been really exciting.
Yeah. No, we don't all have all the answers to all this stuff, but you guys are trying to find some of the new answers. And from where I'm sitting, that's it gets noticed right away, because there's like these sandboxes. Influencers are in one, and media is in another. And when the sandboxes start to all play with each other, some of us start to notice that. So I love it, and I'm glad you're going to be here to help be a part of these conversations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.